Hey viewers, and welcome to another episode of the Divine Science. Thanks for hanging out with me for the next few minutes. I hope you enjoy. Tons of stuff going on today. Lots of news. The Herman Cain non-incident of the allegations of whatever they're saying. You've heard tons about. So I'm not going to go. I wanted to pick something that's fresh and still thought-provoking. And what I picked, and we have the 53 Seconds of Doom by presidential candidate Rick Perry, which don't count him out of the race. Okay, the guy can't speak or debate worth anything, but he has a great record in Texas, and he has a great tax plan, arguably better than the 999 plan. Now, I'm not advocating Perry at all. Don't get me wrong. But to say that he's done is foolish. It's not. He's not. Who knows what could happen? It's not looking good, but don't write him off. So anyways, what I picked was Obama speaking at the National Women's Law Center. Actually, it's Obama campaigning at the National Women's Law Center, obviously trying to win back a female base. 2008, he had a huge female base. He's losing it. So why not go and talk to a bunch of women who are ambitious? And I want to focus on certain parts of the speech, or actually tear up certain parts of the speech. However, I have posted the whole speech, as you can see right there, if you want to punch yourself in the face, because when I watched it, it felt like repeated thumps to my noggin. So, without any further delay, let's watch some clips.
Those same companies must cover the cost of preventive services like mammograms, domestic violence counseling, contraception.
Oh, that's so nice. The insurance companies are going to pay for contraceptives and mammograms and counseling? That sounds awesome. But wait, nothing is free, right? So if nothing is free, who's going to pay for it? Oh, that's right. You and me. We're going to pay for that. Because they're not just going to absorb those costs, because those are a lot. That's a lot of money they have to absorb, that they won't absorb, that they'll pass on to you and me. Let's watch some more.
We pass tax credits that are keeping more women out of poverty and helping them reach the middle class. Companies are being encouraged to make workplaces more flexible, so women don't have to choose between being a good employee and a good parent.
Now, this is important. Listen to what he's saying. He's giving tax credits for women that are in poverty who don't pay taxes. They don't pay taxes because they're in poverty. So they're getting tax credits, but not paying taxes. So there's their distribution of wealth right there. That's part of. He said it flat out right there. But keep in mind what he just said. Oh, and what is he talking about? Encouraging companies? What encouragement is he talking about? Forcing? Is that encouragement? I didn't know forcing was encouragement. That's more like forcing. But according to him, he encouraging companies to help women decide if they want to be a good mother or a good employee. Let's watch something else that I couldn't believe he said.
One of the first things I did after taking office was to create a White House Council on Women and Girls to make sure that every agency in the federal government considers the needs of women and girls in every decision they make. Not as a sideshow, not as a box to check, but something that is sustained each and every day.
So one of the first things he did when he became president is create a White House program that focuses on every decision young women make? To do what? And he says every federal agency. Surely that's got to be hyperbole. But this is where his equal rights argument falls apart. He's so concerned that developing equal rights for women. Women should have equal rights, yet they don't believe that women can do it on their own. They're not like men. Men can do it on their own, but the women need help. The women need this foundation of government to put them on the pedestal of a man, next to a man. They can't do it on their own. It doesn't make any sense. This is how backwards the Democratic Party is. They think they're progressive and helping equal rights, but they're exhibiting the exact behavior of what someone who doesn't think a woman is equal does. Well, we got to give them the handouts because they're not able to push themselves up to whatever a man's ambition is. Totally backwards. And the fact that this is one of the first things he did, apparently he must have thought about this a long time, that women we need to help them put themselves up because they can't do it on their own. Can you get any more sexist than that? This is how backwards they are. And if I am not mistaken, and look this up, I'm not going to tell you who it is because I want you to look it up. Frederick Douglass hung out with a very influential woman, part of the movement bringing equal rights to women. And if I remember correctly, Frederick Douglass was a Republican. Yeah, he was. He was a Republican. So look up who it was that he was friends with. So once again, the Democratic Party erasing their past because they were anti-woman. They were not for equal rights for women, in that matter, for blacks. But they somehow just forgot all that. And now it's the Republicans that are in the way. But Democrats point to they haven't changed because, look, they need all these programs to bring women up. They can't do it themselves. It's got to be the government. Let's continue.
And Republicans in Congress should be with me too, because it's right for the country. Instead, they're spending time focusing on how to turn back the clock. Instead of figuring out how to put more Americans back to work, they've been trying to figure out how to take away preventive care that is covered under the Affordable Care Act. Instead of making life easier for women in this country, they want to let insurance companies go back to charging higher prices just because you're a woman. Instead of working to boost our economy, they're out there spending time trying to defund Planned Parenthood and prevent millions of women from getting basic health care that they desperately need. Pap smears and breast exams.
And here we go again. He tries to relate things that don't make any sense. How does defunding Planned Parenthood restrict women from getting health care they desperately need? Like, there's a huge epidemic of people not getting pap smears and mammograms. Can you explain that to me? No, you can't, because there's no base for that. And you viewers, you know, if you watch more than one of my blogs, that I don't advocate for a party because they're a party. I advocate common sense and constitutional principles. And there is none of this going on in the speech that we're currently discussing. If you don't follow his logic, President Obama's logic, then you are anti-American. You are anti-woman. You are anti-equal opportunity. Defunding a baby-killing institution is not going to prevent women from getting health care. It doesn't make any sense. You can't just say, well, I guess you can, because no one holds them accountable. You can't just say, oh, well, they're going to try to defund Planned Parenthood. Oh, and. Here's where it really gets crazy. They're going to prevent women from getting health care. They're just going to, walk around and die. One more clip and we're done.
That is not the right direction for this country. These folks know they can't win on the big issues, so they're trying to make the fight about social issues that stir up their base. They're spending their time trying to divide this country against itself rather than coming together to lift up our country. And we don't have to settle for that. The American people shouldn't have to settle for that.
Do you know what else think that's hilarious? That the whole speech he did was on a social issue, but yet the conservatives only want to focus on the petty social issues and not on the big issues. Boy. You know what, Mr. Obama, Mr. President? The American people shouldn't have to settle for you. Thanks for watching. Powering you to take back this country.